Welcome back. You're watching Your World at 10. After 2 weeks of a verbal duel via the media, BCCI President Shashank Manohar has had his way, installing Chirayu Amin as the interim IPL chairman in the place of Lalit Modi, who stands suspended from the BCCI pending inquiry, of course. What does Modi's removal mean for the IPL, its image and its future? Joining us to discuss that, Sambit Bal, editor of Cricket Info, and Rajdeep Sardesai, editor-in-chief of CNN-IBN. Gentlemen, many thanks for joining us this evening. Rajdeep, let me start with you first. What have you made of this change of guard with Lalit Modi being suspended, Chirayu Amin coming over? Do you think this is going to be, in a sense, an end to this controversy, or is this going to be a beginning of a long-drawn legal battle?
I think there will be a legal battle, Harsha. It's very clear that it's not over here. Lalit Modi is not someone who's going to give up so easily. I think it's very clear that he's been given 15 days to respond to the show cause notice. He's likely to respond to it point by point. He's also exploring what we learn, his legal options. Remember, there is a petition already filed in the Supreme Court by a former BCCI president, Mr. Muthaiya, against the manner in which the board secretary, N. Srinivasan, is both the owner of the Chennai Super Kings and has interests in the BCCI. I think Modi is waiting to see what that petition, how that petition is seen by the Supreme Court, and then make his next legal move. But it's very clear that we are possibly in for a long drawn-out legal battle, and cricket will remain on the front pages and not on the back pages.
Sambit, the brand IPL, in a sense, came to be associated with Lalit Modi. He and his team pulled off a world-class tournament 3 years in a row. Do you think the new dispensation will be able to manage this challenge?
It depends on what they really want, whether they want to take stock. I think it's a great opportunity to relook at everything that IPL was about, and the parts that you want to retain, the parts that you don't want to retain. I think what IPL has shown that I don't like it personally, but it's a great product which has a huge audience. But the new dispensation needs to really decide whether they want to keep the IPL nights, whether they want to keep the IPL rock stars, they want to keep the IPL fashion shows, or they want to actually scale down and focus more on cricket, which is what BCCI should do. And I think they have hosted 2 World Cups before. There is no reason why they can't conduct a fairly successful tournament,
Rajdeep,
for which the groundwork has been laid.
Whether you like it or not, Rajdeep, the IPL, in a sense, changed the way cricket and the commerce of cricket work. In that sense, was it the mistake of the BCCI in not being able to manage Modi well? In a sense, they gave him a free hand and very little accountability.
Oh, absolutely. I think Modi became larger than the game, certainly larger than the IPL. I mean, it was perhaps only appropriate that even at yesterday's closing ceremony, the cameras were more on Lalit Modi than they were on Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Sachin Tendulkar. That's the way the tournament was built, and that's where I think Modi made his biggest mistake. Having said that, I think we have to realize the evolution of the sport, of cricket administration. In the pre-independence year, you had the princes who were benevolent, then you had politicians and officials enter. None of them really understood the commerce of the game, and most of them really exploited the game in their own way. I think Lalit Modi can be accused of a lot of things, but I think he was the first modern Indian sports entrepreneur in that sense, who realized the importance of bringing a sport like cricket, which is hugely popular, and make it part of the wider entertainment industry. I'm a romantic like Sambit is. I would love to see cricket being played without necessarily the cheerleaders and all that goes around the game. And yet I think I'm pragmatic enough to understand that I think that is essential in the 21st century to make sport a spectacle, to bring people out from their homes to watch it. So I think Modi understood that, and let's not underestimate the power of that. So the danger today would be to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You've removed Lalit Modi, but a lot of what Lalit Modi did for cricket was to make it a true spectacle and a part of the entertainment industry, which I think is critical for modern sport to survive.
Sambit, critics of Lalit Modi and critics of the IPL, say this time and again, this is a stark revelation of the fact that there is no system of checks and balances within the BCCI. This is exactly how the BCCI has always operated. The only difference is this time, Lalit Modi was a problem child who went out of control. Would you agree with this assessment?
But I think they created Lalit Modi and they destroyed him. I think till now it's suited a lot of members of the board to, there was all this big money coming in, all the state associations were getting a lot of money. And I guess they knew they were always in control. And Lalit Modi perhaps didn't realize it, that if a system can create him, the system can destroy him. It's the bigger question that we really need to ask of the BCCI, because Lalit Modi to me is yesterday's story. The real story today is, what is BCCI going to do with this now? 3 years ago, when they took over, they released a vision statement, and the buzzword there was transparency. And I genuinely believe that Sharad Pawar had everything going for him. He had demolished Dalmia. He had all the stature, all the authority, and all the clout. If he wanted to reform BCCI, I thought he was the man who could do it. Do
you think that's going to happen now? Do you think that's going to happen now?
I hope that happens, but I'm not too optimistic about it, because they have done exactly what I thought they'll do. They have taken the soft option. They have gone for Lalit Modi. They have found a fall guy. They have appointed somebody who is slightly low profile, who is not a lot is known about him. They have sort of almost found an antithesis of Lalit Modi now. And the BCCI will take control. But BCCI, the problem with BCCI is that it runs a multi-million business, but it runs like a cottage industry and like a boys' club. And they're not about to start dismantling themselves, because there's so much of self-interest there.
Rajdeep, will this set in place a motion where the cleansing process of the BCCI will begin, where Indian cricket administration will become a lot more professional than it currently is?
Unfortunately not. I'm extremely skeptical about it. I agree with Sambit. I think the real challenge, and this was really an opportunity for the BCCI. Every crisis presents an opportunity to get its act together. Instead, what you're having is the witch hunt of an individual who's been suspended without even really giving him a fair trial. I think that is that's exactly how the BCCI, unfortunately, has functioned for the last 60 years. The great thing, of course, is that cricket continues to grow and flourish, and that's because of the huge talent that exists in this country. And which is why this sport will still remain a national passion. But it's still run, as Sambit put it, as a bit of a cottage industry, which is, when you really need a professionalization of the sport. I would have liked to see this to be an opportunity, much as in the Satyam case, where you had perhaps some of the finest minds coming together to try and see what was the way forward to professionalize truly the administration of the sport. I think the tragedy with all Indian sport, not just cricket, is that they've been unable to realize that you are running a commercial enterprise, but you still try and run it like a cottage industry, and that is simply not going to happen. So I fear that we've again missed the opportunity. You're going to have Lalit Modi out, perhaps, if the BCCI bosses wanted, and you'll have someone who owes his allegiance to the present setup being appointed in his place, which is disappointing. I think this was a great opportunity to bring in professionals and try and professionalize the sport, rather than reduce it to a small little cabal of a few individuals.
Well, on that not so optimistic note, Rajdeep Sardesai, Sambit Bal, many thanks for joining us on this conversation on Your World at 10. Slip into a